Welcome to Jehovah News, your trusted source for Christian faith updates. Brought to you by Jehovah's House of Saints. Stay tuned for the latest news and insights to inspire and uplift your spiritual journey. Stay connected with us as we bring you all the breaking Christian news, presented by the dedicated team at Jehovah's House of Saints. Thank you for tuning in to Jehovah News.
Have you ever wondered what life might be like for the thousands of undocumented immigrants living on the streets of New York City? It's a reality that's hard to comprehend, yet it's lived every day by countless individuals who made the perilous journey to find a better life, only to be faced with unimaginable hardship. Consider this. According to incomplete data, at least 200,000 people are living on the streets of New York City, one of the most vibrant and bustling cities on the planet. Among these are many undocumented immigrants who, due to their status, face an uphill battle for survival every day. Life for these individuals is marked by a lack of basic necessities that many of us take for granted. Imagine not having a roof over your head, not knowing where your next meal will come from, or being unable to access healthcare when you're sick. This is the harsh reality for these individuals, who often have no choice but to resort to desperate measures like panhandling just to scrape by. As you ponder this, it's important to remember that these are not just faceless statistics. These are real people with dreams, hopes, and fears, just like you and me. They are fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and children, all of whom are trying to navigate life under incredibly challenging circumstances. These individuals have fled their home countries, often escaping violence, persecution, or extreme poverty in search of a better future. Yet, instead of finding refuge, they find themselves trapped in a cycle of poverty and uncertainty, made all the more difficult by their undocumented status. As we consider these realities, we're confronted with the immense suffering of these individuals. It's a sobering reminder of the human cost of immigration issues and a call to action for all of us to stand in solidarity with our undocumented brothers and sisters. The question we must ask ourselves is, what can we do to alleviate this suffering and advocate for a more just and compassionate society? How should we, as followers of Christ, respond to the plight of these individuals? A question that takes us back to the teachings of the Bible, to the words of Jesus himself in Matthew 25:35-40. He called upon us to feed the hungry, to give drink to the thirsty, to welcome the stranger, to clothe the naked, and to visit the sick and imprisoned. This call to action is not just a suggestion, but a divine mandate that echoes through the ages, reminding us of our duty to care for those in need, irrespective of their immigration status or circumstances. Taking a step further back into the Old Testament, we find a similar commandment in Leviticus 19:18. Love your neighbor as yourself, God instructs the Israelites. This isn't a commandment exclusive to one community or one period in history. It is a timeless, universal call to recognize our shared humanity. We are all children of God, all deserving of love, compassion, and justice. This commandment calls us to stand up for the rights and dignity of all individuals, especially those who are marginalized and vulnerable. As followers of Christ, we are called to be a light in the world, as stated in Matthew 5:14-16. This isn't a light to be hidden, but to shine brightly for all to see. It's not a passive light, but an active beacon, a call to stand up for the oppressed, to speak out against injustice, and to extend a helping hand to those in need. Our faith is not just about personal salvation, but about living out the teachings of Christ in our daily lives. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's hard, even when it's unpopular. It is about embodying the love and compassion of Christ, showing that love to our neighbors, and advocating for their rights and dignity. We are called to be a light in the world, to stand up for the oppressed and extend a helping hand to those in need. This is our calling. This is our duty. This is what it means to follow Christ. But how can we make a difference in the lives of these individuals? Imagine the impact we could make if we all came together to support our neighbors, especially those who are struggling to survive on the streets of New York City. It begins with a simple step, like reaching out to local organizations and churches who are already working tirelessly to provide meals, clothing, and resources. These unsung heroes are on the front lines every day, extending a lifeline to those who need it most, but they can't do it alone. They need our help to serve the growing number of people living on the streets. We can volunteer our time, donate essential items, or offer financial support. No act of kindness is too small or insignificant. Every hot meal, every warm coat, every donated dollar makes a difference. Moreover, we can use our voices to raise awareness about the plight of the undocumented immigrants living on our streets. We can start conversations, share stories, and challenge misconceptions. We can use our platforms, whether that's social media, a blog, or a dinner table, to educate others about the realities these individuals face every day. And we can advocate for change. We can write to our representatives, attend city council meetings, or participate in peaceful protests. We can demand policies that respect the rights and dignity of all individuals, regardless of their immigration status. We can stand up for justice, love, and compassion. This is not a one-time effort, but a commitment to ongoing action. It's about creating a community that cares, that stands up for its most vulnerable members, and that refuses to turn a blind eye to suffering. We don't have to do this alone. We can join forces with others who share our passion for social justice. Together, we can make a difference in our community and shine a light on this pressing issue. We can bring hope to those who have lost so much and show them that they are not forgotten. Let's stand up for justice, love, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference in our community and shine a light on this pressing issue. We are inspired to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. These are not just words, but a call to action, a call to solidarity, a call to stand shoulder to shoulder with our undocumented brothers and sisters who have taken unimaginable risks in search of a better life. Their stories may differ, but their struggles are the same. They are individuals who, despite facing immense challenges, demonstrate a resilience that is nothing short of remarkable. They are people who have left everything behind, not by choice, but by necessity. They are our neighbors, our co-workers, and our friends, each with their unique stories of courage, perseverance, and hope. Yet they live in the shadows, marginalized and vulnerable. They are forced to navigate a society that often turns a blind eye to their plight. Their voices are drowned out by the loud clamor of politics and prejudice. They are the silent heroes of our communities, the invisible faces in our cities. But we can change that. We can amplify their voices. We can shine a light on their stories. We can advocate for their rights and fight for a more just and compassionate society. We are called to love our neighbors as ourselves. This is not a suggestion, but a commandment. It is a mandate that transcends borders, cultures, and languages. It is a call to show compassion, to extend grace, and to seek justice. So let us answer this call. Let us stand in solidarity with our undocumented brothers and sisters. Let us recognize their humanity, their worth, and their contributions. Let us extend a hand of friendship, a gesture of kindness, a word of encouragement. Let us be a beacon of hope in a world that is often dark and unforgiving. Let us be the change we wish to see, the voice for the voiceless, the light in the darkness. Let us be the embodiment of love, compassion, and justice. Let us heed this call and stand in solidarity with our undocumented brothers and sisters. The plight of undocumented immigrants is a pressing issue that requires our attention and action. We've journeyed through the heartbreaking stories of people seeking a better life, only to find themselves in dire circumstances on the streets of New York City. We've heard the staggering statistics. Upwards of 200,000 individuals, many undocumented, surviving without proper shelter, food, and health care. We've delved into the words of the scriptures, reminding us of our responsibility to love our neighbor, to welcome the stranger, to care for the needy. From the teachings of Jesus in Matthew to the commandments in Leviticus, we are called to be a beacon of love, compassion, and justice in the world. We've explored the call to action, the need for us to stand up for the oppressed, to lend our voices against injustice. Irina's plea for support is a rallying cry for all of us to become agents of change, to make a tangible difference in the lives of these marginalized individuals. We've discussed the power of solidarity, the strength that comes from standing together for a common cause. The words of Micah ring true, urging us to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. This journey has shown us that the plight of undocumented immigrants is not just a social issue, but a human one. It's a test of our empathy, our compassion, our commitment to justice. It's a reminder that we are all interconnected, that the suffering of one affects us all. So let's heed the call, let's stand in solidarity with our undocumented brothers and sisters. Let's advocate for their rights, their dignity, their humanity. Let's extend our hands in help, our hearts in empathy, our voices in advocacy. We kindly ask for your support by making a $1 donation towards our cause through jehovahsaint.com.together. We can make a difference. Together we can create a world that is just, compassionate, and loving. A world where everyone, regardless of their immigration status, is treated with dignity and respect.